Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Wellness Weekend. My name is Kathy Reneses, and I'm the in-house life coach at Centro Holistico. And joining me today is our favorite herbalist, René Rose Rodrigo. Hi, René. How are you?
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm gonna apologize up front because I'm in the middle of a garden and my phone is like being propped up by basil plant.
Well, we're working with what we got at this point, but I am
Right?
so jealous. I am so jealous that you are out of the city, that you are getting your vitamin D. The weather looks fantastic where you're at. And yeah,
hmm
you get to be like in the middle of nature, literally just like forest bathing.
Well, like even at our home in the city, I have like this huge garden, so I'm always surrounding myself with plants and
Mm.
herbs, and you already know.
Exactly. No, and that is, I think that is also, a huge reason why, a lot of us kind of are kind of getting sick staying in the city because we aren't surrounded by enough greens. There isn't enough, there aren't enough trees or oxygen to kind
Right,
of help us put us in that happy place and to
right.
help our immune system, which is kind of our topic for today, right? Like what
hmm
herbs and herbal supplements can we actually make the most of, in order to help boost our immune system, especially in times like these.
Yeah. So I mean, I think y- before we came on here, I told you like I really wanted to mention something about immune system, and I've been noticing recently a lot with my clients that they'll come on a call with me, and we'll find out that was a butterfly. We'll find out that um, I'll find out that they're on like 10 different supplements, herbal supplements, right?
Mm.
So on 10 different supplements, taking it for about 6 months, they plan to take it for the rest of their life. They want all the benefits. They want all these immune boosting things. But
Mm.
I always tell my clients that it's so important to understand that the field I'm in, which is herbal medicine, is medicine, right? So supplements
Mm.
are medicine. Even taking teas that are very strong or using herbs that are very strong are are medicine, right?
Yeah.
And anything that you put into your body is processed by the liver. And
Mm.
I always try to have my clients understand that everything you put into your body is processed by the liver. It's taxing on the body. Although
Mm.
although things like, you know, um, astragalus, people are taking stinging nettle, ashwagandha, red
Mm.
clover, these types of supplements. Uh, these I always tell them that you should always take your supplements, even if they're for immune boosting benefits, to take
Mhm.
them in rounds or in scheduled routines throughout the year.
Mm.
So never take something like don't pick up a reishi, like a mushroom from
Yeah.
from the store and say, and it says boost immune system. You don't want to take that forever.
Mm.
You want to just grab the benefits that it has in a short period of time, and then put it to the side, and then come revisit it maybe again the year after or 6 months after.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
uh, there are herbs that can cause liver damage. And
Mm.
if you're using a mixture of herbs, this becomes even more worrisome worrisome, because as someone who sees clients and doses herbs to my clients, it's important for them to know that uh, we could, too much of a good thing could be a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
it could be very taxing on the body.
Mm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's also with, I think, with a lot of these herbal supplements as well, like you get them at health stores and there's just a plethora of them to kind of choose
Right.
from. And we don't really think about it that way. It's kind of like we just kind of think that, oh, it's herbal, it's all good for you. We don't really like look into like some herbal supplements that are good maybe for our immune system can also double as brain boosting, etc. But then we just kind of look at the labels at the health store and go, oh, I want some of this and I want some of this.
Lots of
And
that.
we don't,
Yeah. And then you're like,
yeah, exactly. And then we don't really pay, much attention to it. We just kind of think, no, because at the health store it says that it was for this. Yeah, and then we kind of wonder like what's going
yeah.
on with our bodies. So it
Right.
that, that
So,
that's
yeah.
so interesting.
Yeah, so I'll see clients and I'll hop on a call with them, and
Mm,
even as someone who's in in the field of herbal medicine or botanical medicine, as someone who lightly studied the topic of holistic nutrition, um, it's really important to understand that even if you're taking vitamin C, the best source of vitamins, nutrition, and ways to boost your immune system is from whole foods and eating good food. I wanted to come on here and kind of just like sadly break it to everyone that I feel like there's this notion that some herbalist, some nutritionist is gonna one day answer all of their questions, like this is the one way to be healthy.
mm,
But everybody knows already how. Everyone knows how to boost your immune system. Eat good food, take an herb here or there with the guidance of with the guidance of a herbalist or a naturopathic practitioner.
mm,
Someone even like Dr. Candy has great immune boosting procedures at her
yeah.
clinic at Central Holistica, which I use myself, and here and there once in a while. And you know, the best way to boost your immune system is to detoxify it. Or
Yeah.
I know that that word is thrown around a lot very loosely. I don't mean go on an extreme diet. I don't mean take extreme supplements. What I mean is don't overeat. Don't overeat your supplements.
Mm,
and
yeah.
and reduce the stress. Those are like
Mm,
the basic ways, right? But I definitely have
mm,
some herbs I can share with you today that if you are sick currently, or if you're recovering, or if you feel like you never taken an herbal supplement before, you don't really take vitamin C, you don't really eat a healthy diet, so you want to like kind of boost your immune system, I do have herbs on my list here today to share with you. um, and I can let you know if they're good for term or short term use.
yeah. And maybe as well, like how to best take it. Like, is there a best way to ingest certain types
Yeah.
of herbs? Because I know that, like, of course, at the health stores, they're all in capsule forms, right? But like now,
Right.
there are herbalists and naturopaths coming out with tinctures, teas, such as yourself.
Yeah.
And at least for me, like the most enjoyable way that I take my herbs is through teas.
Right.
But then maybe like there might also be better ways of how to be able to kind of take them. And I love your reminder that yes, at the end of the day, these are just supplements. This cannot
Right.
supplement a healthy diet, so this
Right.
needs to be taken with a healthy diet in order for you to really see any benefits or
Right.
effects. Yeah.
Right.
So Renee, just to start, what is number one on your list?
So I kind of broke it down today into two separate categories. The first category is kind of like herbs that you can't find locally that you should buy via your health food store, or Mary Roots on
Hmm.
Instagram. So she has tinctures, teas, or capsules. And then the second category is actually herbs that you can incorporate into your lifestyle, into your food every day, and they're easily found locally. And it's kind of like it's like a written rule in my house that the cook has to constantly use these herbs in rotation in the
Hmm.
house in the cooking. So I guess we'll start with the kind of more medicinal ones, which are the ones you would buy from your health food store or Mary Roots. So first on the list is the astragalus root, and a lot of
Hmm.
people, ever since COVID happened, a lot of people are more aware of herbs and their
Yeah.
uses, right? So astragalus root is the only one actually that is okay for long-term use,
Okay.
and it's best in capsule or tincture form. I know Mary Ruth
Mhm.
has a tincture form of it, I think, and I know you can get it at the Healthy Options, for example, has it.
Mhm.
So astragalus root is good for long-term use because even in TCM, it's actually used to help support the kidneys. If you have chronic kidney disease, it's indicated
Mhm.
for that. So it's really a gentle herb, but it's a powerful herb. I say this all the time. I always say it's gentle, but it's powerful. So that's one of those. It's kind of
Mhm.
the winner in that category.
Yeah.
Something you could take long term. But even
Mhm.
if even if it's safe to take long term, I always tell my clients, buy a bottle of the capsule or the tincture, take it as its usage says on the bottle, as the
Mhm.
directions say on the bottle, until the bottle is finished. Then stop. Don't go out
Oh,
and buy
okay.
another bottle right away.
Mhm.
Wait a month, give your body some 30 days, and then if you think you need it still, go ahead and
Mhm.
take it. If you've gotten sick recently, or if you just feeling under the weather, that's okay
Yeah.
too.
So Renee, just so I can like better understand it, like you said that just to better understand the herb as well. So
Mhm.
astragalus, he said, according to TCM, it's good for the kidneys. So I'm going to assume that it helps with gently
Yeah.
detoxing
Yeah.
our body. What is the benefit of the pause of like not buying a bottle right away?
So it's because anything that you take into your body is going to be processed through the liver. It is good for
Mm.
the liver and to support the liver, but you want to also give the liver a rest because, as I
Um,
said, the simplest way to put it is that too much
mm,
of a good thing can be bad.
yeah.
Sometimes herbs can be overloading or overstimulating on the system. Other than that, I've had clients who would take something as gentle as astragalus or as gentle as chamomile, and they'll take it every day uh, for months. And then,
Hmm.
they eat something or they start another supplement and they start topping up supplements and topping up. And then before you know it, they're taking like 6, 7, 8 supplements. And then I
Mm,
don't know what that's doing to their liver. And they don't
that's
know what
true.
that's doing to their liver. So we just want to like do pauses and do rotations. So in that 30 days of a break, you could do something else, maybe
Mm,
something gentler, or but personally, I would really say stop for 30 days, don't take anything.
mm,
You need your body to kind of acclimatize itself and
yeah.
stabilize itself. It can't be supported constantly by an exterior like herb as
Mm,
stimulating as astragalus would be in a capsule form. That's already a medicinal dose, you know.
mm. Got it. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
we have a couple of questions here. We have one from YouTube, from Reflections, who asks, "What herbs can affect the liver in the long run? I know rosemary, thyme, and others can be used as seasonings. Thanks." So I'm not sure if she's asking if it's what herbs can affect the liver negatively or
Right.
positively in the long run, but maybe you can, yeah, talk about that a little bit.
So she mentioned culinary herbs, rosemary, thyme, tarragon, things like that,
Mm,
basil. These are garlic. These are things that are in our cooking, in almost everyday cooking, right?
yeah.
So if you're eating it and cooking, you're not taking a real medicinal dose of it. So there should, if she's like, how I also interpreted the question was that what can affect the liver negatively. So culinary herbs you should have no problem eating them every day in your cooking, and your liver will be fine. um, but if we're talking about capsules or tincture
Mm,
forms of, which is rare actually for culinary herbs, but if we're talking about higher dosage, I would always say be careful because, first of all, although there are many studies in herbal medicine, it's still a science that's being looked into, especially with
mm,
liver diseases and liver concerns rising now with the general population. It's important to see how herbs interact with each other and if you're on
mm,
medication. So if it's a medicinal dose like a capsule or a tincture form, I always say
mm,
be careful. I always say talk to an herbalist, or just do it in rotation. Take a break, because you got the benefits. Don't worry about it. You got the benefits.
Yeah.
Take a break, let your body relax. Letting your body relax, detox is like the best thing you can do for your body. But if you're gonna, like, I actually have like a basil right there. I just picked it, the one that's holding up my phone. So if you're taking this, like, as a garnish or in your food,
Yeah.
no, there should be no problem with
Mm.
your liver.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I hope that answers your questions, reflections. And then there's another question from Ferns. He says, I have a question to better understand, since supplements don't have approved therapeutic claims, how effective are they?
Okay, so a lot of the supplements you buy in, let's say, a health food store, you turn the bottle over and it says not approved by the FDA. There are no therapeutic claims. There are many reasons why this is. Reason number one is there's no regulating herb. Let me put
Yeah.
it kind of simply. Herbs um, are called dirty medicine sometimes. And the reason they're called dirty medicine is because when you buy synthetic medicine, like if you get
Mm.
medicine for high blood pressure or for something neurotic, like
Mm.
for depression or something like that, these are singled out chemicals that are synthetically created, or they're taken out in a lab from a plant or whatever source, and they're put into a capsule because it's measurable. It's a
Mm.
measurable dose. We know exactly what it's going to do to you in your body. Bless you.
Thank you.
And when it comes to herbal medicine, like if I give you a tincture of basil, sweet or holy basil, if I give you a tincture of ashwagandha, uh, herbs have many, 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 many things that they do on the body. They act on the body
Yeah.
in many different ways, and it's not
Hmm.
measurable. It's
Yeah.
not something that we could take it out and put it into a capsule form and say that this is going to be an antidepressant. That's all it's going to do. But if we take the
Mm.
full herb, it could be an antidepressant, it could be a diuretic, it could be
Yeah.
a something that will
Mood
calm your blood.
booster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could do many things.
Yeah.
And so to answer that question, it's really hard to regulate herbs. So unless it's like in the purest form, the extract is in the purest form, and it's
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So
Yeah.
can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can now.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one reason. That's one reason. The other reason is that a lot of companies refuse to be FDA approved. They refuse to go through
Mhm.
FDA approval because they feel like, and this is kind of just something that, it's like whether you want to be vaccinated or not. It's just like a
Mhm.
company doesn't want to be associated sometimes with government. It's
Yeah.
more political than
Regulatory. Yeah.
than I can even
Yeah.
explain. So
Yeah.
I always tell people that herbs work wonders. Herbal medicine
Mhm.
is a real science. We rely on actual clinical trials. We rely on
Yeah.
science for our information. And if
Mhm.
you really, are worried about the FDA approval or the therapeutic claims, you should really just speak to an herbalist or a naturopathic practitioner, and they can help guide you to the most effective herb for you.
Yeah, I hope that answers your
I
question,
know.
Ferns. I mean, like it really is kind of funny, that like we have had herbs since the dawn of time. There is traditional Chinese medicine, which is more or less around 2,000 years old. There's Ayurveda, all these other practices, even here in the Philippines, right? We call it
Right.
Butika ni Lola, or
Mm-mm.
grandma's pharmacy.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, like a lot of people would still kind of question the efficacy of herbs, just because like that little label of FDA isn't on there. But
Right.
for me, it really is about, look at the results,
Exactly.
right?
So yeah, a lot of, sorry to cut you off, but like
No,
a
it's okay.
lot of herbalists, and since the beginning of time, when herbalists first started, they relied heavily on the outcome of their patients, the actual results.
Yeah.
So, during a time when doctors were prescribing mercury for
Mm,
ailments, which we know is highly toxic, just
yeah.
because it was like an approved medical thing all around town, all around the
Yeah.
world, that mercury somehow will solve these ailments, but it was actually killing people. Herbalists at
Mm,
the time were using things like agrimony, and which is
mm,
an herb, or they were using things like chamomile. And
mhm.
so, and they were using these because they could see the results.
Yeah.
Whereas when you used mercury, it was just because someone said, someone higher said,
Yeah,
someone
exactly.
higher
Because it
in
was
this.
approved somewhere.
Right, exactly. So, it's, and I always say, it's really important. Obviously, my sister is a scientist. I come from a family of doctors. Um, Western medicine, and medicine, allopathic medicine will save your life.
Mm,
If it's a life or death situation, go to the hospital, go to a doctor.
yeah.
But if you're just looking to, you have depression, or you have stomach aches, you have like a little bacteria that needs to be like,
Yeah.
that's not life threatening, you
Yeah.
could just go to an herbalist, or you could go to a naturopathic practitioner, someone like Dr. Candy, who's a functional medicine doctor. And,
Mm.
so it's really just about, you know, what life or death, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. The way that I like to explain it as well is it's the difference between healthcare and sick care, right? Like
Right.
if
There
you are
you go.
sick, you will really want to go to a conventional doctor who has all the
Right.
treatments, surgeries,
Right.
etc. But if it's
Mm-hmm.
healthcare, if you're working on your wellness, it doesn't
Right. There
make
you
sense to see them. So you would rather go see, yeah, a functional medicine doctor or an
go.
herbalist
Mm-hmm.
or an acupuncturist to help
Exactly.
you get
Mm-hmm.
on that continuum of health, that better side, instead of working on getting better. So I think for at least for me, like that's a huge
You explained
difference.
it perfectly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they all work together. We're not saying that one is better than the
Right.
other, but
Right. Absolutely.
one is definitely useful at a certain time as compared to the other. That's all we're
Right.
really saying.
Right.
Um, so yeah, so Renee, back to our
Oh
list of
yeah.
herbs. So what
So
is what is number two?
So number two, and I'll just put in there as well. Number 2 and 3 are stinging nettle and ashwagandha. Both can be
Ah,
found in tincture form at Mary Roots. I keep saying Mary Roots. I promise you, I'm not sponsored at all. She's a friend of mine, like the Cheryl, who sells it here in the Philippines, and
hmm,
her products are just amazing. And I
yeah.
keep recommending tinctures because they're the most, I would say, potent of
Hmm,
the options.
yeah.
And so how I would say it is, if you want something that's really effective right away, get a tincture. If you want something over the course of a period of time,
Hmm,
that's gentle, do a tea. And
hmm.
with capsules are okay, but they do, if you're taking very many supplements, they do aggravate the stomach, and it's so much harder on your digestive system. So I always
Mm,
recommend a tincture form. So stinging nettle I really recommend to my clients who are anemic. It helps actually to build blood cells in the body.
ah,
Yeah, and it's also a natural antihistamine. So if my kids have an allergic reaction to something, or I'll give them a tincture of stinging nettle. And what's also amazing is if they get like a bite by a bug
yeah.
and it starts to get inflamed, you put the tincture on directly topically onto the bug bite or the rash or whatever
Mm,
seems inflamed, and it literally will go away.
that's so interesting. So not only does it help with generating new blood cells, it's also anti-inflammatory.
Yes. And it helps with
Oh,
allergies. So if you have allergic rhinitis, I recommend
mm,
you getting a stinging nettle tincture. Uh, yeah. And so that works also with that.
mm. Amazing. And okay, my favorite one is ashwagandha from our last conversation. So what is that do?
So ashwagandha is actually used by herbalists historically to treat failure to thrive. So in
Mm,
children, mostly. So if you're a child, or if you're an adult and you are weak, generally weak, fatigued, lack strength,
yeah.
lack energy, start with
Mm,
an actual ashwagandha tincture. Also for Mary
mhm.
Roots, because I haven't found one as good as that one. And it contains lots of antioxidants. And ashwagandha is actually translated in Ayurveda and in I think it's Sanskrit, right?
Mm.
To mean the strength of a horse. So it gives you
Ah,
strength, it gives you energy, It gives you just loads and loads of just like energy to get day and to thrive, really. And it gives children the strength to eat. A lot of back historically, there was a lot of famine and a lot of there wasn't enough food going around, or babies were not being fed enough breast milk, etc. So ashwagandha was used in Ayurveda to help support these children throughout their childhood years. And I give it to my children after they've had a sickness. So if they've or even myself and my husband, if we've had like a really terrible sickness and that weak feeling of recovery afterwards, give yourself a tincture of ashwagandha for about 2 weeks, and you can stop after that and you'll be good to go. Don't take ashwagandha long term also. Don't take stinging nettle long term. And I wanted to mention one last one because it's become very popular. Echinacea. Echinacea is available in tea or tincture. I think it also has a capsule form. This is only for short-term use, everybody. I see people, because of COVID, going out to buy tinctures and capsules of echinacea, and they're taking it for 6 months on. You should only take echinacea short-term. It has effect on the liver, and it could cause toxicity of the liver if it's not properly detoxified. So short-term use, about 2 to 3 weeks of a good potent echinacea. I'll recommend mare roots, of course. If you can find a tincture, better. If you want to do a tea, and I think already from my Instagram, I prescribe, or I dose my clients in teas because they're gentle and we can work with the dosage. If you go to like Healthy Options and you get a tea form, you could do the tea for about 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I know the teas at Healthy Option for echinacea. They're usually marketed as stuff for like with women during their periods, etc. So for me, like that's the only association I have with the herb. I had no idea that it had like more more
Echinacea is
benefits than just that.
Echinacea, along with I would say astragalus, are herbalists' top tiered herbs for immunity. So echinacea is very gentle yet powerful. You can use it for children in a small dose. Adults, you can use it through a sickness, after a sickness, but only in short bursts of time.
Got it. So, okay. Oh, we have a question here from Reflections. He asks, how about Ginseng Vitality of Mary Ruth? How do you use it? Okay. I think ginseng and turmeric are like top two herbs as well, especially here, right?
Yeah, so I actually ask some of my clients to go and buy the Ginseng Vitality. I take it myself for some time. Again, take it for short-term use. Use it as it is labeled on the bottle, and then once the bottle is finished, stop. The important thing about taking herbs is that it's like antibiotics. I wouldn't recommend you like trying to spread it out over a long period of time, like you'll take it every 3 days or every other day, because you won't really reap the benefits as quickly or as effectively as we would like. So if it says take it every day, 3 times a day, take it every day, 3 times a day until the bottle is completely done, or for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Then stop. And for Ginseng Vitality, I love Ginseng Vitality. It's great if you suffer from insomnia or if you have trouble with energy in the morning. So the thing about it's actually like the Ginseng Vitality contains 3 kinds of ginseng. It has American ginseng, Siberian ginseng, and Asian ginseng. The most interesting ginseng of them all.
Oh, kind of lost you for a minute there. Are you there? Okay, while Renee is sorting out the Wi-Fi, do you guys have any other questions? Oh, there she is. Okay. I'm sorry, we kind of lost you at the most interesting ginseng of all, and then it cut off.
Hello?
Can you hear us? Can you hear me? No? Okay. We kind of lost Renee for a minute there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about the herbal supplements that you're currently taking, if you have any questions to see like what herbal supplements would be best for whatever it is that you're currently feeling at the moment, or what kind of feeling you want to get to, whether it be like she was explaining earlier, in terms of building, okay, in terms of building up your resistance, your immunity, whether it be an extra kind of push in terms of energy, like she mentioned. um okay, got it, Julie. Let's wait for Renee to come back and we'll ask her that question as well. But yeah, let us know like what herbs are your favorites? What herbs are you guys using? How long have you guys been using them for? And maybe we can get advice from Renee
Oh,
about that.
sorry,
It's
guys.
okay. It
What
comes
happened?
with
Horrifying.
being at an actual farm.
I'm so
Um,
sorry. Okay,
it's okay.
no, yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying earlier, like you kind of cut off at the most interesting ginseng.
So the most interesting ginseng is Siberian ginseng. It was actually first discovered in, well, the benefits and the results of it were first noticed during World War II when I think the Russian government started giving it to their soldiers, and to this day they supplement their soldiers with Siberian ginseng.
Hmm.
So what it does is it helps to ginseng is an adaptogenic herb, and it helps to promotes a stable homeostasis balance. So it just promotes balance in the body. And how it
Mm,
does this is like, so it's interesting. I'll have a client, and I had one about a month ago, and she can't get to sleep, and when she wakes up she can't wake up, so she has no energy, and then at night she has
mm,
too much energy. So I gave her just the tincture, and I told her to buy it from Mary Ruth's, and she took it the first 2 days. She was already sleeping at 10 p.m. and woke up with so much energy in the morning, the next morning. So she was so happy about that. It also helps
mm,
with depression, mood, and
mm.
yeah, generally just stabilizing. People, when they hear ginseng, they think that it's going to be so stimulating, you
Yeah,
know they like it's going to be like a coffee to them, but it's actually not.
exactly.
It's very gentle and powerful, and it will help. If you need to sleep, it'll help you get
Mm.
to sleep, and if you need to wake up, it'll help you wake up.
Interesting. Yeah, because in my head, like when you say ginseng, like I automatically kind of think it's kind of like an herbal Red Bull in a
Right.
way, right? Because that's how it's being marketed, right?
Marketed,
It
yeah.
helps with energy, et cetera, et cetera. So kind of like ashwagandha, like you never really think that, oh, okay, so that it can be useful for that as well.
Right.
Hmm. Okay, we have a
Yeah.
question here from Julie. She asks, after 2 to 3 weeks of echinacea, how long will you detox to take it again? So how long is the break before you can go back to taking it?
Yeah, it's so I love these questions because my clients ask me the same things. I'm so ecstatic that you want to take your herbs all the time. And I'm so ecstatic that people are learning more about herbs and they're wanting to take it. So,
Yeah.
with echinacea, you only really need it if you feel like you're about to get sick or if you're recovering from a sickness.
Mm,
If you want to just take it, for immune boosting, I would say take it for 3 to 4 weeks or finish the bottle out, and then take it every other month. So
mm,
the general rule for me is 30 days. Give your
okay.
body 30 days. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Julie. It's 30 days for your body to kind of reabsorb and just make the most of whatever it is that you fed it, and then
Right,
take it
right.
again the next
Hmm.
month. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on, what
Okay.
other interesting herbs do you have on your list there?
So, this is for my second category. I actually wanted to write down some herbs that you should incorporate into your daily life. Most of them are culinary herbs,
Okay.
almost all of them. Um, but in your general cooking every day. So first we have garlic, and that's like an easy
Mm,
one. So
yeah.
herbalists can actually create a medicinal dose of garlic if you are very, very sick and need
Mm,
if you have like a viral infection, garlic is really, really useful, but it would have to
mm,
be a medicinal dose of garlic. Um, there's a recipe for that, but that's only if you're sick. But
yeah.
if for your everyday, garlic,
Yeah.
we have so much garlic here. It's so good for you. Um,
Mm,
the next two are turmeric and ginger.
okay.
We have lots of those
Mm,
here. They're
yeah.
anti-inflammatory. Ginger, actually, I always have an iced tea, like a super strong iced
Mm,
tea version of it, like a ginger tea, in my
mhm.
fridge, because if my husband or my kids have an allergic reaction, I give them a shot of it.
Oh.
And if you need an antihistamine from the doctor, like you're having a
Mhm.
severe allergic reaction, and you can't get to especially because it's like COVID, you can't contact your doctor, you can't get to the mercury drug or the drugstore.
Yeah.
um, Open up, make one in your fridge, open up your ref, get a shot glass or a water bottle for your kid. For your kids, you can dilute it with water, put some honey in
Mm,
it, make them drink it. For your husband or for yourself, take a shot of it, 2 shots, and it will calm it down until you can get,
mm,
you can get some medicine if it's super severe.
mm.
Otherwise, if it's a mild reaction, the ginger should take care of it along with stinging nettle.
Ah, interesting. I usually make my own kind of like, how do you make yours? Because I usually make mine with just grating like
Yeah,
ginger and then
yeah, that's
turmeric. It just
perfect.
leaves me with really orange fingers. But
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah,
like just that and then honey and then a little and then water and then that's
yeah,
kind of it. So
yeah.
could we
Perfect.
incorporate any other things there, like stinging nettle or whatever, in order to make it, I don't know, work for us a bit better? Or should we just stick to ginger and turmeric?
So you could put both in there, and then um, the the local Filipino version of stinging nettle is something called alingatong.
Mm,
So if you can find a supplier or gardener selling fresh root or fresh alingatong, it could be
mhm.
dried also. There, you could find some people actually on Facebook Marketplace, I think. They can
Ah,
you can include it into the brew, and it would
okay.
have stronger effect.
So for the stinging nettle, you use the root, not the leaves.
Um, it well, yeah, it's easier to use the root because it's easier to when you're trying to buy it on from a supplier, they'll
Hmm.
usually send you the root. Yeah, the root is
Ah,
fine.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, because in my head I'm thinking like the entire plant. Like, is the entire plant like edible, usable? Because it is called stinging nettle for a reason.
Right. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Oh,
the
we
root.
have a question from Reflection. Sorry, she's asking about the ratio of the shots for the ginger turmeric
Oh,
shots that you were talking about.
okay. So generally, you would be doing this in your kitchen. There's no dosing or anything like that, right? When you're preparing this blend. If I were you, I'd take like two big sizes of ginger, put them in there, a handful of turmeric, or let's do like a handful, just a small handful of turmeric,
Yeah.
put it in there in a 500 to 1 liter pitcher.
Mm,
When the general rule when it's an allergic reaction happening, this brew is very gentle. So
mm,
what happens, like one time my husband had an allergic reaction, he took a shot and he was still kind of flaring up, so he took another shot, and then you wait about 10 minutes to see if there's any
mm,
effect, and then if it's kind of calming down, you feel a little bit better, then you're okay. But it's very gentle, so it's not like you can overdose on it. So
yeah.
you can take as needed. So if you
Mm,
need more, take a little bit more,
yeah.
and if you don't, then you're okay.
Yeah.
For
So
the
I
for the
guess.
kids, yeah. Should
No,
I?
so I
I
was gonna say like you can kind of just eyeball, I guess,
right,
how like how you want to make it depends on how strong you want the ginger
right,
to be or how not. Because turmeric
right,
has that really waxy kind of aftertaste, right? So it's not really for everyone as well if you want to take it as
right,
a shot like that. So
right.
trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out what works for you.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, if you could get your hands on powdered turmeric, is also a really
Mm,
good, yeah, alternative.
yeah. What about salabat? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Are you talking about like the pre-powdered one?
Yes, the pre-powdered one. Since we're talking about like powdered turmeric,
Yeah,
etc. Like,
yeah.
what about salabat? Because I think that's kind of like the most easily accessible, well, ginger drink that we have.
So I would always prefer you to brew it at home fresh, or use a like the pure powdered form in your brew, because in the commercial salabat that you buy in the grocery store, there's a lot of sugar
That's
in order to make it taste good. And um, I mean, it's so much better if you can manipulate the sugar quantity yourself.
mm,
So I mean, the salabat is a great option to have on hand, but there's just a lot of sugar, and sugar is causes inflammation in the body, so it could actually just make it worse, or it could just not have the effect you want.
yeah, it's
But good
basically going
question.
to kill your gut microbiome, and you won't be able to absorb anything. So sayang, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
so it's in. So we started with garlic, which is basically in every Filipino meal.
Right. Yes,
So
exactly.
right, that's what that isn't too hard to kind of incorporate. And then yeah, ginger, turmeric, which you can include in a meal or you can drink as a shot or as a tea.
Right.
What else can we kind of incorporate?
So the last two things I have here are lemongrass, which is tanglad,
Mm-hmm.
and chamomile.
Ah.
So lemongrass is easy to get here.
Mm-hmm.
It contains something called citrol, and this actually produces a boost in the immune system. It helps to regulate the immune system. It's great
Mm.
to have as a tea. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of Filipinos do that already. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
Southeast Asians do that already. It's great to have in your cooking also. So lemongrass is kind of one of those herbs that are underrated, and it's really delicious too if you can make
Yeah.
it into a tea. And then
Mm.
the last one would be chamomile. So chamomile is a little bit harder to find, but it's readily available in tea form
Yes.
in the markets. So chamomile contains a lot of antioxidants, and it has lots of minerals and vitamins like vitamin A. It's really great for children.
Mm.
So my kids will take it every day actually if they have gut pains. It has magnesium, it has calcium, it has lots of trace minerals, and these are really good for children. So if I don't know if you're familiar with something called gripe water. It's what parents will
No.
give their okay, so it's like what parents will give their kids if they have like a stomach ache as a baby, or they're colicky, they're crying all the time.
Mm.
um, Once your child is at least 6 months and above, you can start giving them really small doses of just a chamomile tea. So
Mm.
brew up the chamomile tea, let it cool to room temp, and give it to them in like a sippy cup. And this helps with
Ah.
stomach, with gas
Yeah.
pains, even for adults.
Mm.
Adults would just need a stronger brew of the
Yeah.
chamomile tea, but it's really an underrated herb as well, just like lemongrass. People hear chamomile all the time, and they're just like,
Yeah.
eh, this is such a useless herb. It doesn't do anything. But it actually has so many benefits. If you can brew it correctly, if you can get the
Mm.
right dose, then you can have really
Yeah.
great, amazing benefits with that.
That's so interesting. Like with chamomile, all I know about chamomile, like for myself personally, is like pampatulog lang siya. You know,
Okay.
it's kind of like oh, I need to go to sleep. I need to like tell my body that it's time to sleep. So I'm gonna have like a cup of chamomile, or like if a friend is coming over and like they have something that they want to get off their chest, then you usually brew them a cup of chamomile, right? So like, okay,
Yeah,
let's get it out.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
never realized like that, like though there were other uses. I just kind of figured like it was just a very British tea.
Yeah, so that's like kind of just going back, this entire conversation we had is like a good example of what I mean by when people calling herbs dirty medicine. It's an actual
Mm,
term, and it's an endearing term for herbalists to call herbs dirty medicine, because it does a lot of things in the body. And like
yes.
for you, chamomile helps put you to sleep, or is a heart opener.
Mm,
And then for other uses, it's good for the stomach. It helps with digestion. It calms you down. And it does like it has lots of minerals and vitamins for kids.
mm.
So a lot of things, a lot of herbs, herbs can do a lot of things.
Yeah, it's so eye-opening for me how we've just kind of considered certain herbs to do just this one thing. I guess
Mhm.
also because we kind of, if you think of it as medicine, right? I'm sorry, could you hear my old dog like coughing in the
Oh,
background? He's wheezy, sorry. um like we kind of think about like all these like herbs have like one use, kind of like
right.
how medicine has one use. If you take a
Mhm.
paracetamol, this is what it does. So I
Exactly.
think in a lot of our heads it's like, okay, if you drink chamomile, this is all it does, when in
Right.
fact it has, yeah, a plethora of other
Right.
uses.
Yeah.
um yeah. Oh, we have a question here again from Reflections. She asks, "Would can you recommend a good brand of tea, like organic and from a sustainable source?" Huh. Well, I guess it depends on like what you want to have
Yeah.
done. Renee actually has a lot of teas that she makes. So,
Yeah, so so I blend teas for clients, and I actually
mm,
sell pre-blended teas on oholiday.shop.
mhm.
You can check our website. Maybe there's something for you there because it's more medicinal, restorative teas. They have benefits that should be that you would hopefully see right away. But if you're looking for something that's organic and sustainable, I know healthy options. Do you hear me? Okay. I hope
Yeah,
I yeah. Okay, so can you hear me?
yes. I think the
Okay.
video is hanging, but we can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yeah. And I think the
Can you hear
video
me?
is finally catching up. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Healthy Options has some brands that are organic, and I'm not sure about sustainable, but you probably could do a quick Google.
Hmm.
Okay, that's great. That's all that matters.
Oh, okay. And we lost Renee again. Okay, Julie, when she comes back, I'll have her answer your questions. But yeah, just so you guys know, Renee also does a blend of a lot of herbs. I know she has one for, I think, thyroid problems, if you want to boost your energy, if for other female issues, etc. She has some fantastic blends for those. I know that Dr. Candy also gets her teas from her. And, as per her results, they've proven very effective. So if that is a route that you guys want to go on, by all means, do check her out. I think she is back.
Yeah, sorry.
There you are. Yeah. Sorry. So you were, sorry, before we got cut off, you were saying check healthy options and
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, check Healthy Options. And then I know they have organic brands there. I'm not just sure about the sustainable part, but I'm sure you can do a quick Google search to find out.
Mhm. Yeah, and I was telling them, they can also check out, yeah, like your shop. You have a whole lot of blends for a whole lot of other,
Yes.
issues that we may have. Like I'm super interested in the thyroid one. I know
Oh, okay.
Doc
Yeah.
Candy's taking some teas from you as well,
Yeah.
and so far she's been raving about them. So
Yeah.
I'm super interested. There's another question here from Julie. She asks, I have tanglad in my backyard. Can you share how to brew it correctly?
Okay. I also have lemongrass in my backyard. And okay, so pull it up from the okay, so it grows in like these kind of really tall straight blades.
Mm,
Um Take a blade or two blades and take a scissor, cut downwards into the root.
mm,
Not too deep, just a little bit. And then you should have like a really good sizable amount of the root part of where it was growing underground.
mm,
Take it into your home and then chop it up into small pieces, and then leave it out to dry. And I feel like I
okay,
should make a video of this on my Instagram.
for sure.
And like so leave it out to dry. I like to dry all my roots, and I like to dry
Okay.
all my herbs. um so I have a drying technique. You leave it out in a room that is not moist, that's not humid. So you can leave it on your dining table, basically, where some sunlight gets to it, or on a table by a window. On a paper towel, leave it out to kind of dry out, and then take it. If you're going to use it as a tea, you can just pop in a pinch or 2 pinches from that into into a cup or a teapot and pour hot water over it. Uh, you can also do it fresh, but I personally like to dry my herbs because I feel like the taste is a little bit better. It's not too strong.
Yeah.
Some herbs will have bitterness if they're fresh. So that's probably how you could take it. Or you could also just, my husband picks it. He's a chef. So my husband will pick it out the garden, and he'll just throw it. I have no idea how he throws it into the food, but he'll just throw it into the food.
I love that you guys are like the perfect match, like the herbalist and the chef. So the
Right.
culinary garden is like sulit na sulit at your place.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Reflections is saying yes, please do the video.
Oh yeah, sure.
So yeah, like Renee also has a YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out, her
Oh yeah.
adventures
Thanks.
in herbalism and mamahood and just
Mhm.
lifestyle.
Mhm.
She has some very interesting topics there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I think that's kind of it for me. Like I have asked all the questions I wanted. I've learned so much once again. Thank you so much, Renee.
Aw.
For those who want to find you, get in touch with you, buy your teas, where can they find you?
So you could just go to my Instagram. It's René Rose. So ITSRENEROSE. And then in my bio, well, you can definitely send me a message. I reply to all my messages in my inbox. Or you can go to my bio and you can see my botanical skincare and apothecary. It's oholiday.shop, and we're on Instagram and we have a website. But if you also wanted a consultation, you could book on the website, or you could just send me a message privately. That's fine too.
Yeah, so there you have it. Thank you so much again, Renee, for spending the morning with us. In spite of escaping out of the city, thank you for making time for Wellness Weekend.
Of
Super
course.
appreciate it.
Time for you guys all the time.
I
I
love
love
that.
chatting
Thank
with you.
you. I learned so much, and it really is exciting, at least for me, just listening to you go on and on about herbs and just how accessible it is. And it's just a great reminder of how nature is there to help and heal us as well. We just really need to
Yeah,
know where to look, right? So yeah,
absolutely.
that's it
Mm-hmm.
for us at Wellness
Oh,
Weekend. Thank you so much,
thank
guys.
you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for watching. Where's my hand there?
Yeah, please join us again next weekend. Till then, bye.
Bye.